Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to Tuition Masters Class 9th and 10th YouTube channel. And today we are here with the session number 2 for your Biology Grade 9 chapter, that is Improvement in Food Resources. So, this chapter, in our previous session, we had discussed about the introduction and basic things of the chapter, right? The crop. Different types of production, how we do hybridization and everything, right? In our today's session, we are going to learn about the crop production management, where we study the three subtopics of nutrient management, irrigation, and cropping patterns. So, easy light session today. So, let us start immediately. So, with before starting, make sure you're liking this video, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel right away for such more informative and your syllabus based content. So let us start with doing nutrient management, the first part. Now, students, we all know that different types of farming practices are being carried out by different types of farmers. All farmers in the world do not carry only one thing, right? They do different kind of thing. The production include no cost production, low cost production, and even high cost production. No cost as in they are using the basic things, basic available things. Low cost means that medium level, not giving too much, not giving very less, and high means that very high techniques we're using, hyv seeds and everything, correct? High cost production, when we talk, is based upon high yielding varieties, more and more farming practices, usage of modern technologies and latest agriculture machine. No cost, we are using simple handmade tools, your family is operating and everything, but in a high cost, you're taking help of labor, then you're making your use of many high kind technology and all. Okay, that is high cost production. Now, crop production management, when I say, it refers to control the various aspects of production and obtain the maximum and the best yield. To get the best and the maximum yield, we use the crop production management techniques. It basically has three parts. First, nutrient management. Second, irrigation. And third is the cropping pattern. Now, we are going to study about these three things in our today's session. When we talk about nutrient management, we know that nutrients are what carbohydrates, then potassium, sodium for plants and all, correct? So we humans also intake nutrients, correct, for what? Development, growth, well-being. Even we eat nutrients. Similarly, for the proper growth of plants also, na, nutrients are required. So how do plants get nutrients? They get nutrients by air, water, and by soil. By these three factors, plant gets the nutrients it needs. So now what are the nutrients? Important slide this is. Why? Because these are the 16 essential elements we need. It is divided into two parts, macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients means they are needed in large quantities. The plant needs it in large quantities, okay, and micro means in small units, it's all it can be given. Macronutrients consist of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. So these nutrients are required for the plant in very large quantities for the growth. Macronutrients, micro means in very less quantity also. If you get it, it's fine. Iron, manganese, zinc, copper, boron, then boron, yeah, and then molybdenum and chlorine. These are needed in less quantity, but yet they are needed. So these are the two types of nutrients which plants need in their structures. Now, moving towards your next one, macronutrients, as I said, the essential nutrients which are taken by the plant in large quantities are known as macronutrients. Okay, the main example is NPK, that is nitrogen, then phosphorus and potassium. NPK fertilizers also we use it. These are the macronutrients. On the other hand, the essential elements and the nutrients which are required in small quantities also, they are known as micronutrients. nutrients, correct? For example, boron, manganese, zinc, they're example of macronutrient. In the growth stage, germination and establishment, they needed. In the vegetative growth, in flowering and reproduction, and maturity and science. Okay, there these micronutrients are used. Okay, now what are the harmful effects of lack of nutrients? When nutrients are not given proper nutrition, what happens? First, no proper growth. Okay, they will have a stunt growth. The plants will have a stunt growth in their system. Correct. Then low resistant to diseases. Any diseases may easily harm the plant, that is low resistant. And the fruits and flower will not be proper, no proper fruits and flowers. So how can we provide nutrients? Should we give the plants food? No, the plants have their own food, that is manures and fertilizers. So plants can be given proper nutrients for their proper growth by giving them manures and fertilizers. Manure are nothing but they are organic in nature, correct? They are organic, they don't have any chemicals in it. Manuring is the major solution to replenish the soil again and get sufficient nutrients for the new crops. Okay, now it has very large a quantity of organic matter, but it even supplies small quantities of nutrients as well. So majorly it is organic in nature, so yes, it provides too much of organic matter. Now, how can we make manure? Manure, when the farmers they dump plant and animal waste, they get the plant waste, dead bodies of animals, and small animals, right? So they throw it in the pits. Okay, they throw it in the pits and allow it to decompose, and that decomposition turns into a manure. So it is a biological waste material, and it's also how we recycle the farm waste. Now, there are three types of biological material manure can be classified. Manure can be made by three ways: compost, vermicompost, and green manure. What is compost? Compost means that you can do it homemade also. Animal excreta like the cow dung, then kitchen waste like the peels of fruits and vegetables, plant waste, the dead leaves and all, waste wood, etc. You keep it in a pit in a place for a very long time in soil. What will happen? It will decompose and make a structure known as compost. Such a structure it will make compost, and this is used as a manure, organic manure. Correct? Are you putting any chemicals in it? No chemicals in it. They are organic in nature. Next comes vermicompost. Vermi when we are talking about it talks about earthworms. So you might have learned about vermicomposting. It is when earthworms are used to convert organic waste into a humus-like material. So all the organic waste, the peels, excrete, everything we're putting, the earthworms are going to feed on it, and once they feed on it, they will convert it into the manure. Okay, that is the second type. And the last one is green manure. What is green manure now? Some fast growing plants which grow very quickly, like sun, hemp, and guar, are grown. Okay, so they are then mulched into the soil by plowing. They decay to form organic matter. The fast growing plant like sun, hemp, guar are grown. Okay, after that, we are mulching it into the soil itself by plowing. Then they convert, decompose, and become organic matter. So, what happened is after some time, the main plants are grown and the remains of the old plant enrich the soil with nitrogen and phosphorus. So old plants that take the nitrogen phosphorus and when it die decay, so the new plants automatically get them. So that is green manure. We are not making it, it's automatically happening. Correct. Now in the nature and oxygen nitrogen is where it's taken by the plants. Okay, now the plants, the crop residue, the leaves or the roots or the plant, when it die it decomposes, then it becomes the mineral nitrogen for the new plants. For the new plants, it becomes the nitrogen and fertilizer. Now, what are the advantages? First one, it adds humus to the soil. Humus is added. Then it increases water holding capacity because it is organic in nature. So it will increase water holding capacity. It makes soil porous and gases, can be taken in and out very easily. And the texture, appearance, of the soil is also improved. So manure is overall very good because it's organic. Talking about fertilizers, fertilizer is mostly inorganic in nature and synthetic, okay? But the advantages, although it has no organic matter, but yet it is very rich in some specific nutrients. So for supplying the plants with one or two important nutrients, we use fertilizers. Correct. For example, NPK fertilizer and a nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Nitrogen for a plant color and growth, phosphorus for the growth of fruit and flowers, and potassium from the strong roots and stems. So NPK fertilizer. This NPK, can you get it with manures? No, you cannot get it with manure. They will give you very less. So urea, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, potash, NPK, these are all examples of fertilizers. Now, what are advantages? First one, it increases the crop yield. Yield of the crop increases and improves poor quality of land also. Okay, the land which is poor in quality, it will increase it. But there are disadvantages. There are more disadvantages of fertilizers. Why? Because the friend microorganisms, the earthworms and microorganisms which will help the plants, the fertilizers are chemical, so they will harm them. If we use too much fertilizers, the soil fertility will decrease. And fertilizers do not give much of organic matter, but they give specific nutrients. And manure gives too much of organic matter, but doesn't give specific nutrients. So that is why they both have their own advantages. Alright. So with this, we are completed with the nutrient management. Let's go towards irrigation. Now, what is irrigation? Simple definition: the supply of water to your crops at regular intervals is known as irrigation. When you're watering the plants at regular interval, that is irrigation. Nothing rocket science definition needed. Most in India, we are blessed with good monsoon yearly, correct? So that is why the rain, mostly irrigation is done by the rain only. Okay, and success of crops in most areas depended on monsoons. So whenever monsoon is not there, it results in crop failure in India. Now, what are the sources of water? How does irrigation, after though they grow, I mean they get water in their homes? No. There are different variety of water sources in India. For example, based on the climate, we have streams, reservoirs, pond, lake, river, and well. These are all the types of sources of water we have in India. First one, see, in irrigation, it's not that we can fully rely on rainwater, correct? Rain will not come every day as per we want, right? How much we want, no. Sometimes it will be very less, some very more, or sometimes it will not even there. So, to ensure the plants are getting proper irrigation, we should give them timely and adequate water. That will give us more yields. So, the first irrigation system, wells are nothing but you constructed in a region where groundwater is there, you dig, make a well, that's it, nothing much is there. There are two types of well: dug well and tube well. Dug well means that you're going to dig the dig the ground, then you will put some wall kind of structure in it. Okay, bullock cart operated also sometimes, and this method is very cheap. Tube well is what you're going to fit a motor pipe. You're going to fit a motor pipe very deep in the in the ground, and when you pump it, the water will come up, the groundwater, and you can do irrigation. So dug well, it is good, but it is very cheap and effective. Tube well is very easy to use, but it's high cost to do the you know entire fitting and everything. Next are canals. Canals are man-made water channels which come from rivers or water reservoirs, and they are specifically made to take water to various agricultural plots. So basically, what happened is, let me explain you with the blank slide. See here. Imagine that this is your river. Okay, this is my river. Okay, now here I have the agricultural plot. This is my plot where I'm doing the agriculture. Okay, I'm doing the agriculture here. Now from river to plot, how will I bring water? Now every day who will go? So what they do is that they make underground. Okay, underground they make channels. Okay, they make channels which are known as canals. They are known as canals. They directly carry the water from the river and it reaches to the plots. So that is a man-made structure. Okay, it is man-made. We make it to connect from a river or a reservoir to our agricultural plots. Okay, next comes river lift system. What is this? Here you're taking the water directly from the rivers only. Through pumps, you're taking it. Okay, now this structure is used when the plot and river are far away. But when your field is near to the river only, so you can fit this system. They will from the river directly the water will be given. Okay, so students, with this we have completed with our today's session. I know we have one more thing, a few more things left. In our next session, session 3, we are going to learn about the types of cropping patterns and how do we protect the crops, crop protection management. So before leaving, let us quickly summarize what we have studied today. So we studied that high cost production is based on the high yielding varieties like good seeds, modern technologies, and agricultural machines also. And plants also require nutrients which are given by air, water, and soil, and there are 16 nutrients required. Okay, the nutrients in large quantities are macronutrients like NPK. Then in small quantities are micronutrients like boron, zinc, manganese. Okay, manuring is when we're using manure for fertilizing the plants, correct? So it will replenish the soil again and it will give sufficient nutrient. It is organic in nature, it's organic material it provides. On the other hand, fertilizers, they're inorganic but yet give specific nutritional value. Supply of water to the crops at regular intervals is known as irrigation. In India, due to climatic changes, we have various types of irrigation systems like well, canals, river lift system, tanks, reservoirs, and everything. Now, there are three types of cropping patterns: mixed cropping, intercropping, and crop rotation, which we are going to study in our next session, session 3. So, with this, we have completed with today's session. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be seeing you very soon in our next session. Till then, make sure you're liking this video, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel right away. I'll be seeing you very soon in our Improvement in Food Resources session 3. Till then, take care and goodbye.